Marlene, Martell's mother, has finally spoken in a way that no one expected. This wasn't the usual soft defense or quiet dismissal of her son's mistakes. This time, it was raw, honest, and layered with both love and pain. When she looked at her son, it was as though she wasn't just seeing Martell the man, but Martell the child she raised, the boy she had such high hopes for, now standing in front of her as someone who had lost so much of what once made him strong. Watching her, you could see the weight of disappointment that only a mother can feel. It wasn't the kind of disappointment that comes from strangers online criticizing his choices. It was the heartbreak of a mother who knows exactly how far her son has fallen, because she saw every step of the fall happen in real time. Her words about Melody carried a special kind of honesty. She didn't speak about her like just another ex-daughter-in-law who had left the family. Instead, she spoke about her like someone who still belonged, like a daughter she wished had never walked away. Marlene remembered how Melody brought light into the home. She remembered the way she handled situations with grace, the way she smiled through pain, the way she kept the family name intact even when Martell's actions threatened to tear it down. Melody wasn't just managing her marriage, she was managing Martell's image, their home, their children, and their future. And Marlene saw it all. She was in the house. She witnessed the way Melody carried herself, how she worked hard to keep things from falling apart, but no matter how much grace Melody showed, it wasn't enough to stop Martell's choices. Marlene has had to watch her son sabotage himself again and again, throwing away opportunities, love, and stability. And now, she sits across from him, listening to him try to explain decisions that don't make sense. What hurts her even more is knowing that the woman who replaced Melody in Martell's life does not bring peace or growth. In Marlene's words, Arion isn't just another woman in the story, she's the center of the chaos. She is the reminder of every wrong turn, every mistake, and every time Martell ignored the path that was laid out in front of him. The way Marlene described Arion was powerful, not because she insulted her outright, but because of the tone she used. She didn't have to call her names. She didn't have to raise her voice. Every time her name came up, you could feel Marlene holding back, as though the truth she wanted to say was too heavy to release. And then came the word that shifted everything. Marlene called Martell's relationship with Arion an incident. That word carried more weight than 100 insults. She didn't call it love, she didn't call it a phase, she didn't even call it a mistake. She reduced it to an incident, something that should never have happened, something that carries pain instead of purpose. That one word revealed all the grief, all the prayers, and all the disappointment she has carried for years. Marlene's frustration isn't aimed at Arion alone. What she really resents is what Arion represents. To her, Arion is a symbol of a life that was never meant for her son. A symbol of distraction, wasted years, and a path that stole him away from his purpose and his family. Martell has lost so much because of this. His respect in the community, his stability, his family structure, and even his sense of direction. Marlene has watched all of it unravel. And now, after more than a decade of being tied to Arion, Martell still cannot give her the title of a wife, nor can he explain clearly what the future holds. Instead, he talks about investment properties and temporary plans, as though he's convincing himself that things are moving forward when they're really just standing still. When Marlene listens to Martell explain himself, she doesn't hear progress. She hears excuses. His words sound practiced, like speeches he's repeated to others just to keep up appearances. But she knows him too well. A mother doesn't need explanations to know when her child is lost. She can feel it. Every time she sees Melody thriving, she is reminded of the difference. Melody doesn't waste her time on explanations, she shows results. She continues to rise, not through drama, but through hard work and quiet strength. And Marlene feels that contrast deeply. On one side, a son who is stuck, spinning in circles. On the other side, a woman who was once part of their family, now glowing with success and direction. Marlene made it clear that Melody wasn't just a good wife, she was the planner, the organizer, the one with vision. She mapped out businesses, created balance in the home, and helped Martell focus on long-term goals. She was the reason people believed Martell had it all together. Now, without her, everything looks unstable. Instead of planning for growth, Martell is struggling to manage the basics. Instead of leading his family, he is trying to defend choices that even he doesn't fully believe in. And Marlene has had enough of watching it. She also brought up Maverick, the child who came from Martell's relationship with Arion. It was clear that she loves her grandson deeply, but her eyes carried a sadness when she spoke of him. Maverick isn't just a baby to her, he's a symbol of the moment everything changed, the moment the family picture shattered. Every time she looks at him, she remembers what was lost. It isn't his fault, but his existence is tied to decisions that broke apart a marriage, a household, and a legacy. That is a heavy truth for any grandmother to carry. Meanwhile, she can't ignore how Melody continues to grow. She's signing deals, appearing in interviews, and showing strength without needing to brag. She isn't throwing her success in anyone's face, but it's impossible not to see the difference. Melody represents peace, progress, and vision. Arion, on the other hand, represents noise, chaos, and stagnation. That contrast is too sharp for Marlene to overlook. She doesn't even have to say it outright, the truth speaks for itself. One woman built, the other drained. One brought unity, the other brought division. What hurts Marlene the most is that her son hasn't learned from the past. Despite the court battles, the financial setbacks, and the public embarrassment, Martell still seems to believe he can talk his way through life without making real changes. He is still justifying, still hoping things will work out by chance. But Marlene knows life doesn't reward indecision. It punishes it. She has reached a point of exhaustion. She is tired of cleaning up his messes, tired of nodding quietly when she doesn't agree, tired of being the only one holding on to what used to be. She doesn't hate Arion, but she sees her as a constant reminder of what Martell lost. And every time Martell spins another story about why things are the way they are, she hears wasted potential in the background. Her frustration isn't just about judgment, it's about loss. She remembers the boy she raised, the one who had ambition, the one who dreamed of building something meaningful. That boy is gone, replaced by a man who is clinging to chaos instead of building a legacy. Marlene speaks of the past like it belongs to another lifetime. She remembers holidays filled with laughter, Melody cooking in the kitchen, children running around while plans were being made for the future. It wasn't perfect, but it was forward movement. Now, those days are gone. They've been replaced with silence, legal documents, and drama. And Martell continues to act like this is just a rough season, something temporary, instead of recognizing that his entire foundation has crumbled. The way Marlene described it, Martell is not moving forward. He is stuck rereading the same chapter of his life, refusing to close the book. He keeps Arion in his story like a bookmark, holding his place in chaos. There's no new beginning, only recycled mistakes. And when he tries to convince Marlene that things will be different, she sees right through it. To her, it's like watching someone try to build a mansion on sand. No matter how much effort he puts in, it will collapse, because the foundation isn't strong. What makes it even worse is how public everything has become. Martell's choices are no longer private mistakes, they are public entertainment. People dissect his every move, laugh at his decisions, and compare him to Melody, who is quietly writing her success story. For Marlene, this is painful. She wanted better for her son. She raised him with discipline and drive. And now, instead of being celebrated for achievements, he is being discussed for drama. She made it clear that she still loves him. That love will never change. But she is done covering for him. She is done clapping for dysfunction. She is done softening her words to protect his feelings. Her honesty is firm now. She has accepted that he has to face his own lessons, and she cannot shield him anymore. Martell still has time to turn things around, but the decisions he makes from here on will determine whether he builds a future or keeps circling in the same storm.